I didn't have dolls. I didn't have lots of hair things playing with. But I loved anything to do with hair. But I remember finding a mop and braiding the mop. I'd actually braid through the whole thing. I realized all the practice I had
with the mop
came in handy. I could twist my hair. I could do the three strand twist. I could even do cornrows. So I would braid my twins' hair and then braid mine. And then the neighbor across said, "Oh, you braid well. Can I bring my daughter?" I'm like, this is so easy. This was exciting.
So today we're here with Akwele. She's the CEO of Locs Sanity Hair Salon. So what was your interest like, growing up?
I loved to play, like every normal child. The sad part was I didn't have much hair on my head.
Okay.
So my parents kept my hair short for quite a long time. And I would look for teddies. There's no hair. We didn't have dolls. But I remember finding a mop and braiding the mop. Okay. You know how mops have these tentacles? So I would get a clean mop. I don't know if that exists, a clean mop, but I'd actually braid through the whole thing. And I would long for those times when my parents will forget to cut my hair. So once I had about an inch or two of growth, I would just try and braid, do cornrows, do the 3-strand twist, just playing around with my hair. And then my dad was turning 50. Okay. So there was going to be a party. Okay. And my mom thought, it'd be nice for the girls to have extensions. So she kept her hair a little longer. Okay. And then we had it stretched out a week or so to the time we had braids. And it was really nice. When we took it off, I felt like, no, I'm not going back to that boy look. I want to grow my hair. Okay. So I realized all the practice I had with the mop came in handy. I could twist my hair. I could do the three strand twist. I could even do cornrows. Wow. So I would braid my twins' hair and then braid mine. And then the neighbor across said, "Oh, you braid well. Can I bring my daughter?"
What made you decide you wanted to become an entrepreneur?
So one time I went to this salon in Medina. It's a big place to get a weave done. Right. And I realized it took me to a room that had just people doing weaves. Okay. So they had different rooms for different specialities. So there was a room for braiding, a room for weaves. So I was in the room for weave-ons. Yeah. And I got to see them do like 6 other people's hair. They started with the cornrow, and then they would sew, measure, cut, sew. I'm like, this is so easy, Let me try this on my hair. Okay. So I went, bought stuff, got so excited about trying it out. And I did my first weave. Okay. My mom came from work. She's like, "Oh, you did your hair?" I'm like, "Yes, I did it myself." She's like, "No." I said, "I did." She took her bag. She asked me how much it would have cost if I paid for it. Yeah. And I told her, and she gave me the money. This was exciting. It actually did motivate me. Yeah. I'm like, wow, mommy thinks this is something someone else did on me. Let me try it. So since then, I did most of my weaves myself. Okay. I fixed my sister's hair. I fixed my mom's hair. I just twisted her hair when she went natural. And then I finished school, did my national service, and I started feeling a lot of pain in my neck area. Then I got it checked, and I realized there was a little issue with my spine, somewhere toward the neck area. So I couldn't wear necklaces, which I loved, because the least stress there gave me pain. Okay. And then I realized even with the extensions, like the Rasta, I was feeling the pain. Okay. So I had to go off long braids or anything that gave me extra weight. Then I thought, let me just cut my hair. Okay. I'll wake up in the morning, have to rush to work. And as a teacher then, teaching at Lincoln Community School, and I thought, hey, what do I do? I wake up in the morning, like, what do I do to my hair? What do I do to my hair? Yeah. I did this for about 3 months. And instead of growing my hair out, I'd end up at the barber's salon because I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm cutting it again. Yeah. So I cut it a few times. And then I heard of Locs. Okay. My twin sister said, "Oh, I saw something on Pinterest or YouTube or something. A lady with locks is really nice." I'm like, "Oh, let me see what this thing is." I looked at it and I thought, it's quite a fixed look to have. I mean, what if I wanted something else? And locks sounded more permanent. Yeah. But I thought of my health and just decided to give it a try.
Okay.
So I spoke to this lady at church who had done it for a number of people I'd seen and I liked.
Yeah.
And she said, and this was about 4 years ago, she said 1,200 cedis.
Okay.
I'm like, what? What hair costs so much? So I told her, okay, hold on.
It's like buying a phone at that time.
I know, like at that time, I could afford it, but it didn't make sense to me. So I went on YouTube, I pulled out a few videos, and I saw what it entailed.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, this is why it's so expensive.
Okay.
But can't I do this? So I watched a video of a girl who was DIYing, just trying it. Yeah. But her precision and the accuracy, she wasn't a certified loctician, but she did a good job. She did for her mom. Yeah. So I watched and I gave myself a week, partitioned my hair for the grid. Yeah. The grid, by the way, is a way we partition so you can have lines running through, so you can still do cornrows, you can style. Okay. So I made my own grid, I measured, did everything, and I would do a section at a time.
Sounds like a lot of maths go into Locs.
I'm telling you. Well, my math came into play there, and my pre-technical skills. Right. Pre-tech, yeah. A lot of angles. Yeah. So I tried it. And after a week, I finished installing my hair. I'd go to school and the kids were, Miss Akwele, what are you doing? I like your hairstyle. Yeah. It's like trying to be nice, but they're really wondering what's going on. Right. But yeah, that's how it started. So I started my locks, maintained it for most of the time till I got the salon. But for 2 to 3 years, I maintained my locks myself.
Why did you choose to start a hair salon and primarily a one that focuses on locks?
So I fell in love with locks, and I thought, wow, I can pour water in my hair every day. You know, I can walk in the rain and not be worried about permed hair looking all, you know. For locks, water is actually a plus. I see. Because once there's water in, it gives it a nice, like it comes alive. The convenience, how natural it was, it's low maintenance. Okay. I don't put products in my hair.
Locks is low maintenance?
It's low maintenance, trust me.
Wow.
It might sound expensive to start. Yeah. And you get your new growth tightened every 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. But it's not, we don't charge that much. We charge between 100 and 150 cedis.
So you believed there were other people that would like that to the point where you felt like, you know what, I'll start a business on that? Yeah, I did. And I got clients I didn't go looking for. Oh. So my mom says, oh, your locks are looking good. Can you lock my hair for me? Okay. My twin says, I think I want to lock my hair. Okay. Then my colleague at work says, I want to lock my hair. Someone started it, didn't do a good job. Can you? So I did it for hair. Before I knew it, people were just... So this became my side hustle. Okay. I would close from school tired and have a few clients waiting for me to... We would install one person's locks in days. Yeah. Because I was also now like picking up speed. Yeah. And I wasn't very fast at it. But COVID happened and school went online. I went off teaching. Then my siblings had the 2 shops next to this one. Yeah. And I would drive past and sometimes say hello. But there was a fabric store here, right in this place. Okay. And one day I just thought to myself, it would be nice if I had that shop. Even though it's currently occupied.
It was occupied. I'm like, it would be really nice. There'll be and then I'll be here. Okay. And then another time I'm driving past and I see it's empty. Right. I'm like, no way. No way. This can't be happening. Right. So I didn't have all the money, but I made a few calls, mobilized some funds. Yeah.
So by a few calls, do you mean family?
Family.
Okay.
Family.
And were they very receptive?
They were.
To help? Okay.
They were, because they had seen
the potential.
They had seen the potential. They had seen me do this. So I got the money paid. I had some money from quitting. Okay. So I put the place together. Right. And I was so excited. I didn't think of clients working, I didn't think of workers. Right. Then I'm like, okay, now I have a baby, I have a salon, I have no worker. This thing takes so much time. Yeah. I'm like, what to do? Instagram. Right. So I created an Instagram page. Yeah. Had a few friends who had locks. Right. Come in. Right. Would do some washing. Would take a picture. Or post. So it's just about posting, and letting people see that this existed. Did you for a second ever think, okay, is this gonna be feasible? Like, sometimes you have that fear that thing is just telling you like you can't make it. Did you have that fear in you? I'd say yes and no. Okay. I knew I could make it, but I had to put in the work. Okay. I wasn't sure if I had what it took to put in the work. Right. Because I knew social media would play a big role. Yeah. I'd never created a personal Instagram account. My husband did it for me. Yeah. And he did it because he just felt like, hey, you should be on Instagram. Yeah. So I didn't know much about it, but I had to learn. Right. So it took hours of, creating, editing a little video, putting it up, and then I'm like, okay, I have only 5 followers. How do I increase my followers? Then I realized, okay, you can pay for advertisement. So I started doing that. Yeah. But the fear was there. I'm the face of the brand. Okay. And one thing I like to do is to have my clients interact with me, meet me, as against leaving everything to employees. I try to be as present as possible. Okay. As much as I can, especially that first interaction with them. So people would usually call in and have all these questions. I want to lock my hair, but is it permanent? But can I dye? But can I wash my house soon? Like, there are all these. So people actually charge for consultation. Right. My consultation is free. Right. But I will take my time, call you back if I miss your call, answer all the questions. And trust me, some of the questions, like, there are people who can question me for a whole week. Right. Like, you wake up and there's another question. Right. But I feel like that first-hand interaction for me is something that will make someone decide to stay or not. What is it like managing a business? What's the day-to-day life of an entrepreneur, specifically yours? A lot of discipline. Okay. And you can't be indisciplined and run a business. A lot of consistency. Okay. Because this is a business. It runs daily. There are things we do on a daily basis. We pay bills monthly. We run out of stuff often. Yeah. So you have to think of how often to restock, putting money aside for that. Yeah. Finances, a big thing. You can't merge your personal finances with the business. Yeah, you need to know, how much am I making on the regular? Yeah. Am I breaking even? Am I making profit? Do I need to adjust? Do I need to change prices? Yeah. Utilities are going up, right? But you're still charging the same price. After a while, you realize, okay, something needs to change. Right. Where am I going to get the extra from? Right. Am I going to sell products? Am I going to increase the clients, what you charge? Yeah. What does it look like on the outside? What are other people charging? Right. You also want to stay within the range. Exactly. Because there are many other people who do what you do. Exactly. So if I have a cheaper option, of course, I'll go there. How is it like hiring? It's hard. Right. It's hard because not many people do locks and do it well. Okay. And there aren't many people who do it and want to work for someone else. So people want to work for themselves. Right. And it's possible. Right. People who I've hired have come with no expertise in doing locks. Okay. I've had to train them. And I think I actually like the idea of training because when people learn things, it's hard to unlearn. Right. Yeah. So if I show you how we do it here, it's the surety of you doing it the way I would is higher. Right. And I'm more comfortable with that. Right. And Shirley and Mufrewa have all been trained here. Okay. And that's how. But on the flip side, the training process is a little bit strenuous and it takes some time. It is. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they'll tell you it is. Even for me, who's done this for about 5 years. Yeah. Every time a client says, I want to install, I'm like, ooh, 10
Here we
hours
go again.
Wear my comfy slippers.
Right.
Standing.
Did you just say 10 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
It can take us about 8 inches of hair for 2 of us. It could take us about 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the whole day. Most people want it done in a day. So we actually start very early in the morning, not very early, but in the morning, and work till night. We run by appointment. So we know who's coming today, and if it's a day when it's a new installation, we block it. If it's not going to take us a lot of time, we can have one or two other clients. We are open to walk-ins, but we run mainly by appointments.
How is it like managing employees to get them to do what you want them to do so they're performing at optimum levels?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you're dealing with human beings, not machines. So it's not like you can just set them and expect them to. But I think you just need to understand that everyone is coming from a different place, different upbringing, things they're used to. But once you walk in here, we make you understand that we don't expect you to be perfect, but just play by the rules. Come on time. Do what you have to do. We also try to make the environment conducive enough. You know, I wouldn't expect you to stay standing when there's nothing to do. It's lunchtime. I mean, you have your lunch breaks. You want to step out for a stretch. Of course, I would want that sometimes. So just thinking of treating people how I would want to be treated.
How has God been instrumental, not just in your life, but in your business?
Now, I can't say something I can't lie here because this is God.
Exactly.
But he doesn't give us passions for nothing. Yeah. It's always to bless you and to bless others. You make a living out of it, you earn something. People come in, you should look at it as an avenue to pour out love to others. So I always imagined a place where people will come, talk, and we can give them sound, godly counsel. You know, we can tell them, hey, you're not in it alone. These are challenges we also face, but this is what I think the Word of God says, and this is how we can support you. I have my pen drive in the TV. I play music, inspiring music. Most of the time it's on like a movie station also, but we like to start with God and just set the tone right. Sometimes I can just, when people walk in, I just sense this person might need something soothing, something. So I just put on what I think might be a blessing. And trust me, there have been many times when you just see clients worshiping along and just, you know, watching. And I feel like that makes me happy. And I think it makes God happy. I've just had the same thing on for too long. I need to refresh my
your playlist.
Say my playlist. Even I am tired. But
good. So if there's any advice you can give to any entrepreneur, what's that thing you can tell them on how to start a business?
Don't be afraid to start small. Just start. Just start. Trust me, you're enough. Sometimes you're thinking of, getting this and that, but people are just waiting for you. You know, start small, show up every day, and just enjoy the process. Don't wait to have everything. What we started with was our tiled floor. Of course, we had the ceiling done. We had our mirrors and the shelving. That was it. And of course the sink. The AC came later, the heater came later. We didn't have the sofa. Start with what you have.
And this is a great piece of advice. You said just start. People are just waiting for you. You were enough. Personally, when you said that, it just hit me hard. I just felt a certain level of peace with myself. It's a very good way to wrap up the video. Akwele, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's inspiring, and I mean, it's a wonderful conversation. So if anyone is looking for a place to have their locks done, what's the location?
We are on the Oponglo, Legon Oponglo stretch. Between EcoBank and Delish Restaurant.
But for people who are tech savvy, you can just go to Google Maps and
Locs Sanity Hair
Salon. So on that note, we just end the conversation and bye for now.
Bye.